Good stuff. We're all here ready and waiting, Andy. There's some lovely interviewers here that have some great questions for you.
Okay, no problem at all. I'll answer them as best as I can.
Thank you very much. So first, I'm just going to fly around and they're all going to introduce themselves and let you know where they're from. And then we'll get started with the interview if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Super. So we go up to, I'm just going by my screen, so I'm going to go up to the top corner, up to Cork, the girls from Cork. If you guys want to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Lorna. I'm Trisha.
Hello, Lorna and Tricia.
Hey.
Now, Lorna and Tricia are stepping in for the kids today, right now. So we're going to fly over then to St. Patrick's in Wicklow. There's 3 lovely little interviewers there. Do you guys want to say your names?
I'm Nikki. I'm Sophia. I'm Alex.
Hi.
Nikki, Sophia and Alex. Hello, guys. Thanks very much for having me today.
Hi, guys. Now we will go down to the Gael School to Darren and Shannon. Who have you guys got there?
Hi, I'm Darren, and this is Shannon and Shannon.
Hi.
I'm so relieved to hear you guys speaking in English because my Irish isn't very good. So that's a good start.
Panic here, Andy. Now, and then we will go to Garbain in Waterford. Who have we got in Waterford today, guys?
Hi, I'm Sam, and this is Ewan.
Sam and Ewan, thanks very much for having me. Morning.
You're welcome. Hi. Say hi, Ewan.
And then we will fly to the Holy Rosary in Wicklow to Katie. Katie, who is there with you guys today?
Hi, Andy. I'm Katie.
I'm Amelia. And I'm Layla.
Katie, Amelia and Layla. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thanks, guys. And then we will go to Jade. Jade is stepping in for Children in Kilcommon as well.
Hello.
How are you, Jade?
I'm good, and yourself?
I like your piercings.
Thank you.
And then we will go to Arklow, to the guys in Arklow.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
I'm Francis.
And we're stepping in for the
Francis,
kids
how are you?
today.
You guys are taking it for the kids today. Okay, thanks, guys. Then we will go to the guys in the Old Abbey are there. Who have we got to interview today?
Hi, I'm Kirsty. What's your name?
Laura.
What's your name?
Molly.
What's your name?
Sam.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hi.
Very good, guys. And then we go to Gurin, who is also from Kilcommon, who is reaching us live from her home. How are you, Gurin?
Not too bad. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Goran.
And then we will fly to Amanda. I suppose we better give Amanda a mention, seeing as she is the boss.
Hi. Thanks so much for joining all the kids. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure, Amanda.
And then I am Sarah. So I think everybody knows my face apart from you, Andy, now at this stage. I'm becoming a Zoom star. Can we go? Will we start with our questions then, guys? Or Andy, would you like to tell us a little bit about you first and what you do?
Well, I'm I suppose the mid-morning presenter here on Dublin's Q102. My show runs from 10 a.m. till 3 in the day. It's almost like a school day, starting a little bit later than that. I've been doing this show for about 18 months. Before that, I spent 23 years working with FM 104, which is actually down on the first floor of this building. So I didn't have to move very far, just up another floor. And I've been a DJ or radio presenter since the age of 13.
Wow.
I started on, and this is going back to the 1980s, there were lots of pirate radio stations in Dublin. And that's what kind of filled the need for people who liked to listen to music radio until the licensed stations came on air in 1989. Again, I worked for a few pirate stations in Dublin while finishing school. In 1995, I got my break then on FM 104. And as I said, I stayed there for 23 years. So I'm still with the company that owns FM 104 and Q102. That's wireless. And here I am, very much enjoying life.
That's great, Andy. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
So we will get started with the guys and what lovely questions they have for you. So I'll go in the same way I went before. So the guys down in Dripsy and Cork, I know your children had a lovely question. Would you like to ask it, please?
Yeah, so the children want to know, how did you become a radio presenter?
Well, as I mentioned there just a few seconds ago, back in the 1980s, there were lots of pirate radio stations. Now, pirate radio stations didn't have license to broadcast, but there wasn't a specific license regime like in place at that point. So if you wanted to set up a radio station, you could, but it was just unlicensed. So you would risk having your equipment taken away in a raid. Now back then, there wasn't really any laws against it. The law that was the 1926 Wireless Act, I mean, was hopelessly out of date at that point. So a few people were taken to court and fined something like 10 or 20 pounds in the currency at the time. Yeah, I joined, I'm originally from a place called Drimna in Dublin, and there was a pirate radio station called Radio Diamond based above the Star Snooker Hall in Crumlin. My dad actually happened to know one of the DJs who worked there, and he mentioned that I wanted to be a DJ myself. And he said, well, let me come up with me some evening. And I actually ended up going on air that very first night that I went there. And I remember doing my very first show a few days later. And within minutes of sitting in the studio, as bad as I was, I shouldn't have been let into a studio at that age because I hadn't a clue. I really hadn't got a clue. But I knew from that moment on, and this is going back almost 34 years ago, that it's what I wanted to do as a career. And here I am still doing it. Very, very lucky to be doing it.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
And then can we
Welcome.
go to the guys in St. Patrick's? What question have you guys got for Andy today?
What's your most requested song ever?
My most requested song ever. Wow. Gosh, that's a tough one. Do you know, I would say for all the years that I've been doing it, I would say Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. I remember when that came along 4 years ago. It would have been 4 years ago. It just blew up completely, and I was working on FM 104 at the time, and we couldn't believe the response that we got for it. And I think we were the first radio station in the country to have it at the time. For some reason, the record company sent it to us exclusively, so we were very lucky to have it. So I think we had it before it was even launched on Spotify. Might have been just for a few hours or something. But yeah, Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, I would say.
Song.
Mm.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I might have to interrupt you there for a second because I'm actually live on air right now, and that's the reason why I asked you along at this particular time, so I could let you in on what's actually going on. So this is the on-air studio, so if you bear with me for about 2 minutes,
Yeah,
you'll be able to see what I'm actually doing. Is that okay with everybody? Yeah. Yeah, hang on there. Joining up the Feel Good Dublin's Q102, I'm Andy Preston here on the Feel Good Workday with Sugar Babes about you now. And yes, before I do anything else, I need to do this. So the final of this happens on February 12th, and Liam will pick somebody else to go through to the final a little bit later on today. So you need to get onto Liam's list. All right, so your choices this hour: football or rugby. What is your choice? I cannot call this one. Let's see how it ends anyway. So what I need you to do is text or WhatsApp 083 42 42 102 with the word getaway, your name and your answer. Right, so you got your choices: football or rugby. What are you going to go for? Get your text in. And this is Dublin's Q102's Feel Good Getaway with mysolar.ie. Generate your own green energy with solar as a service. mysolar.ie. Right, well, the hype around the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series on Disney Plus is reaching absolute fever pitch. Many are keen to see Ewan McGregor reprise his role as the blue lightsaber-wielding Jedi once again. The series will be set 10 years after the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And this just reminds me, I need a Disney Plus subscription. That's your Celebrity Buzz. More after 12 here at Dublin's Q102. Now, that's me done for a few minutes.
Welcome
That's
back,
amazing.
Andy.
That was great for the kids to see, wasn't it, Sarah? They
See
were
it
all looking.
happen.
That's great.
That's why I invited everybody along at this time, rather than kind of just sitting at a blank desk. You know, you can have a snapshot into what actually goes on.
I know it's great to give such a better understanding for everyone of what your actual job is, which is fantastic. So we shall go then to, where were we? The guys in the Grail Skull. Have you guys got a question after Andy was showing us what he does?
So ask your question.
What age were you when you started DJing?
I was 13, would you believe?
Wow.
13, which was really young. And would you believe now, my eldest son actually started when he was 10. So I thought I was setting some sort of record when I started when I was 13 now, but he got interested in it at the age of 10. I keep trying to tell him not to follow it as a career, but he won't listen to me. So I'm very proud of him nonetheless anyway.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Guys.
You're welcome.
Then we'll fly to Waterford, so down to Garrenbane. Have you guys got a question, Ewan?
Ewan's a little shy, so I'll be the one asking.
That's okay.
That's all right.
Did you always want to be a DJ from a child?
No, not always. I wanted to be a professional BMX biker when I was younger.
Oh, cool.
And even at my age, it's something that I'm still into now. I have a collection of BMX bikes at home. So that's kind of a little hobby of mine. But I was always interested in music. So I knew that I wanted to be involved in music somehow. I never learned, I can play a little bit of piano, whatever. But I never took that seriously or anything. So I think I got to an age, probably when I was around 10 or 11, I used to spend the majority of my time sitting in my bedroom listening to music. And I thought, gosh, would it be a really, really nice job to be able to just sit in a studio and play music for people and actually make a living out of that.
Yeah.
So here I am, like all these years later, actually still doing it. So I'm living proof for anybody with us this morning that dreams come true. So
very good.
What are your dreams?
Thank you.
I did.
Fantastic. And Katie, can we unmute yourself there and pop on with your lovely guest question?
Hello, Katie. Hi, guys.
Hi. If you were forced to listen to any type of music for the rest of eternity, what would it be?
I love new music because I get tired of music very, very quickly. So what you guys listen to on Spotify or on your local radio station is probably what I listen to as well. And then, I mean, my music tastes go back years as well. I mean, I grew up like with, music of the 50s and 60s, what my dad listened to. So I'm just as happy listening to something like that as well. But at some point during the day, we play a lot of old music here on Q102 because our audience is mainly over 35s. And it's one thing that I miss about working on FM 104 because I got to play new music there. But, at some point during the day, if I'm driving home in the car, if I go out for a walk or a run, I have to listen to new music, what's going on. I have to hear something new. So as I said, what you guys like is probably what I like as well.
Very good. Interesting. Thanks, Andy.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And then we will go to Kirsty in the Old Abbey. There is some lovely interviewers there. What question have you guys got?
What is the best interview you have done?
The best interview I've done was with Kylie Minogue. Because Kylie is if I could choose to be married to somebody, it would be Kylie. So a
That was a
long
dream
time
come
ago.
true then, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. A long time ago, I got to interview Kylie. So I think it's the most nervous that I've ever been. But, you know, within the space of 60 seconds, she just made me feel so at ease, answered every question, and was just lovely. So you may have heard that saying, never meet your idols. I don't agree with that at all, because for me, it was just one of the most wonderful experiences.
Wow, thank you so much, Andy. Kylie Minogue, that's very amazing. And then we're going to pop to Ashford. I see Stephen there. Stephen, who have you guys got to ask a question?
We have Kyle here. He's a little shy, so I'm going to be the one asking the question, if that's okay.
That's okay.
Hey.
I think it's already been answered, but how do you keep up with popular music?
Well, Spotify is a fantastic resource these days. So I'm constantly on that, but and this is something that I would have loved in my early career, because I used to spend all of my pocket money or any money that I earned working at discos and things like that on records. But these days, the record companies have us hooked up to their own database. So we will get an email in to say, the new song from Olivia Rodrigo is now available. I literally just have to log in to the record company, and if I want to just stream it, grand. If I want to download it, grand. So that's pretty much how I keep up with new music these days.
Very handy. I know driver's license is a big favorite in Ray of Sunshine.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Guys.
Thanks very much, guys.
So we will go then to Arklow, to Lauren and Francis. They're going to ask a question on behalf of the children.
Fantastic.
Our question is, what is your favorite part of your job?
Do you know, the favorite part of the job for me, it comes in two parts. It's playing music, which is why I got into radio. I didn't get into radio because I enjoy the sound of my own voice, or I think what I have to say is particularly important in any way. We all know people on the radio like that who think that of themselves. not mentioning any names, but yes, and it's particularly nice when you're playing a song and you might get a text in from somebody to say, I love that song, or that's my all-time favorite song. So if you've made somebody, just one person's day, that's great. The talking aspect of the job is something that I had to kind of get my head around in my early years. But I've actually kind of got to a stage where I enjoy that, because there's a little bit more emphasis on the talk aspect of it now, because music radio was concentrated so much on just music for a long time. But now, if we want to hang on to an audience or grow our audience, we have to offer something a little bit more than music, because you can get that on Spotify. If you want to hear your favorite songs, you can go on Spotify or YouTube or whatever and hear that. So we've had to try, as music presenters, to try and find a way of connecting with our audience. So the way we do that is through speech. We try to research who our audience is, know who our audience is, because if we don't know who we're broadcasting to, there's no point. So the talk aspect is something that I've come to enjoy as much as sitting here and playing the music as well. So, I mean, if the job was enjoyable for me in my early years, it's become even more enjoyable now. So long may it continue.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Andy.
Pleasure.
And then we will go to Jade. Jade, do you have a question on behalf of Gurren and the guys in Kilcommon?
Have you any advice for the kids looking to get into radio presenting, or to encourage them to like speak on radio, if that makes sense?
Well, I mean, I mean, I'll tell you, I was probably the shyest child that you would have ever met. And I remember saying to my dad, you know, I'd really love to be on the radio. I'd love to be a DJ. And he said, oh, I don't think you'd be able for that. You're too shy. So, I mean, I kind of had to come out of myself a little bit. And eventually I managed to do it. Like, as I said, the talking aspect of it was something that didn't come naturally. It was something that I really had to work on. And I'm still really working on it. I still consider myself like that. I'm still learning. But I mean, there's so many other aspects to radio other than what I do as well. I mean, maybe you'd like to go into news, to reporting, to talk radio, or something like that. And of course, I mean, getting on radio is easier than ever these days because people have podcasts. So I mean, that's something that you could start with as well. Just, you know, sit in your bedroom and talk about whatever interests you. And then there's lots of college courses as well. Ballyfermot College do a broadcasting course that so many people in the industry have come through. But one thing I will say, it's something that you need to have a lot of passion for. You know, it's something that you kind of naturally gravitate towards rather than decide. If you're looking to make a lot of money in life, I wouldn't recommend it, because you may see people like Ryan Tubridy who are on huge salaries. It's not like that for the rest of the industry, unfortunately.
Thank you so much, Andy.
You're welcome.
Very great, good advice for any of the guys that want to get going. Maybe they can practice during a podcast. It's great advice. So we fly over to the boss herself, Amanda. Do you have a question?
I actually do. It was semi-covered because my daughter's 11 and she's listening in the background, and she was asking, do you have to go to college to become a DJ? And then her second question was, I don't know if she's planning, this is her next move. What is the best time slot to be the most popular DJ?
Well, I'll answer that question first. I suppose the breakfast show is always seen as the big slot on a radio station because it's the shop window for any radio station. And it's always been said, if you win the audience at breakfast, you win them for the rest of the day. No, I never fancied getting up like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to do a breakfast show. So to me, the ideal time for me is the time that I'm on. Start at 10 o'clock in the morning, finish at 3. It's the time slot that I've been doing for almost 20 years now, would you believe? Starting on FM 104 in 2001, and here I am in 2021 on Dublin's Q102, doing the same time slot. A lot of people, their ambition would be to do the breakfast show, and I understand that. It was just never part of my ambition. And sorry, Amanda, what was the other question?
She actually wanted to know, but I think you partly answered it about, do you have to go to college to be a DJ?
I never went to college. Lots of my colleagues went to Ballyfermot College, but I never went. My college was pirate radio, because I've always said the best experience is to actually just get in there and do it. You know, you might make a mess of it, and God knows that I did back in the early days, but you know, I was learning as I was going along. But having said that, don't take my advice. If something like Ballyfermot College is an option for you, they cover so much more than music presenting. There's reporting, newscasting, there's production, there's editing, because there's so many other avenues to radio, bar what I do. So if it's something that you are passionate about and serious about, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend Ballyfermot College to anybody who's interested in following radio as a career.
That's great. Thank you so much. The other thing she wanted to know, sorry, Sarah, I'm going to jump in with a really sneaky opportunist request. Is there any way that the Ray of Sunshine kids can get a shout out on the radio?
Absolutely. You just tell me what time you want me to do it, and I'll do it for you.
Oh, brilliant. Could we say 2:30?
Sure, no problem at all. No problem at all.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Perfect. We'll all tune in across the board for 2:30 for you, Andy. And I think if you can...
Sorry, I'm just going to have to interrupt you there for a moment because I need to go on air. I literally have 7 seconds to cover and I'll be fine then.
No problem.
Feel Good Q, Dublin's Q102. I'm Andy Preston here on the Feel Good Workday with a 25-minute music marathon ad-free to come after 12. Now, I'm sorry about that. I'm free now, I would say, for the rest of the interview because we're going into news now. So I've got about 10 minutes left before I need to go back on.
Thank you, Andy. My little Zoom clock is ticking down. It's warning me up in the corner anyway. But I was just wondering, I have a question. Is there any radio presenter across the board that you have loved to work with or that you would love to work with yourself?
I suppose I've so much admiration for Ryan Tubridy, and it only grew after the Late Late Show, which I'm sure each and every one, the toy show, which I'm sure each and every one of you saw just before Christmas. I remember sitting there for the 3.5 hours that it was on, just in complete amazement. You know, I think anybody in whatever career they follow has somebody that they look up to, and I have so many. But just, you know, Ryan Tubridy springs to mind. I mean, you know, I think that the word national treasure, or the saying national treasure, is just handed out like, you know, willy-nilly these days. But certainly for me, and from his radio work as well, and particularly over the last year since we've been in the pandemic, I think the Late Late Show in particular, like, has just been just a beacon of light for people.
No, he is. I agree with you. He's very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Andy. So what we normally do towards the end is we normally all come together and give you a big slán to say thank you so much for giving your time to answer all of our questions, because we really, really do appreciate it. And what I will do is we will pop this up on YouTube, and I'll forward you the link then so you can have a look yourself.
Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you so much for having me today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Loved having you. It's been so good. So guys, do you all want to pop off your mute? And we'll give Andy a big ray of sunshine slán. Okay, are we all ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Come on, guys.
Thank you so much, Andy. It's been an absolute pleasure. So
Well, listen,
thank you.
it was so lovely to be with you today, and thank you so much for having me on. It's been fantastic for me. Really enjoyed it, and I'll be sure to give you all a shout out at 2:30 this afternoon.
Super. Thank you, Andy, and we hope to be in touch again in the future.
Anytime. Just let me know, okay?
Thank you so much, Andy. Bye.
You're welcome,
now.
Sarah. Stay safe, everyone. God bless. All right. Bye now. Bye.